What's up, guys? I got a weathered locomotive and freight car video. This is pretty much showcasing some of the stuff I've been working on the past few weeks. Want you guys' input, feedback. That'd be great. Like I said, just kind of showing stuff off. I've bought some of the stuff on eBay a few weeks ago. Some of this stuff's brand new. Some of the stuff's from hobby stores I bought. So let's go ahead and go into the video. This first engine you're looking at is a Caddo AC4400 Canadian Pacific. I bought this new on eBay a few weeks ago. And pretty much I went head to toe weathering job on this one. I matched it to prototypical photos, serial number 9567. And I blackened the grills, weathered the trucks pretty good, fuel tank. I also added some custom features that was prototypical. I added these rust spotches on the door panels over here, which was prototypical. And for the numbers, I also added some rust streaks to this. Rusting effects. If you can look at the prototypical pictures of these engines, they have the numbers on them are white, but they also rust pretty good. So I pretty much got that effect. I also tinted the windows. That is a big thing for me. I always tint my locomotive windows. Some of the weathering effects are down here, and this Canadian Pacifics, they get pretty brown. So this was pretty fun to weather. I really enjoyed looking at the weathering this because I like the way these things look. I don't see these very much, but I just got thought of this idea not too long ago. Weathered in the engine doors, weathered the rooftops pretty good. And you can see, zoom out, the lettering right here too I added. And I was matched the prototypical pictures. I added rust effects to the lettering. The snow plow also, there's the other side. Like I said, I really enjoyed weathering this one, and these are fun to weather. Yeah, and I'll show you the original picture. If you can see it, you can see the inverter cabinet rust streaks right here, and the numbering and the lettering too is all rusted up. This one's pretty beat up. So yeah, go on to the next engine I have, and this is another Caddo AC4400. This is a UP, and this one is number 5799. Got this brand new. This one has sound, Kobo sound, factory sound, and DCC. Pretty much for this one, what I did was I faded this down pretty good. And if you noticed, some of these AC4400s, Union Pacific at least, they fade down pretty good over time. And this is what I try to capture. I faded it down with some white, a few coats of that, and I pretty much took the decals off too. And this is prototypical. If you look at the pictures online, you'll find 5799 has no decals on the side. And you may be asking why, and the reason why this engine in particular has no decals on the side, because the turbo fires, sometimes these happens, and pretty much it burnt the whole side, both sides of the locomotive. And so what UP did, it just painted it armor yellow, and I guess they decided not to add any decals to it. So I pretty much tried to capture this effect, and I filled in the engine doors, weathered it up pretty good, weathered the trucks, added tint to the windows. You can kind of tell the weathering in this side, pretty much the same thing. I added a custom decal right here, added the yellow sill striping, and I really like this model. It came out pretty good in my opinion. Weathered the engine doors and everything. So yeah, go look up pictures of this, and I'll show you one real quick. But there's some good pictures of this on RealArchives.com, and here's the prototype. You can see no decal, and the fading, you can tell the difference between the fading. This part of the paint job was older, and this is way newer. You can tell the difference. So this one took me quite a long time to do. Pretty much had to get rid of the decals. That was kind of tough. And fading in the engine doors and fading it down. This took me quite a while, but I thoroughly enjoyed doing this project. And for the next thing I did I got this done the other day, was an ADM hopper. This is a Walters Proto 2000. This is a brand new car. And pretty much for this, I just faded it down pretty good, added some pastel effects, give it some brown, weathered the trucks up pretty good. Add this, this is real reflective taping, and I forgot to add on the UP model too. This is real reflective taping. I forgot the brand. It's Fox Valley or something like that. Anyways, they sell reflective tape pretty cheap. It's cost me like $5, I think, for a pretty good sheet. They're all cut up, pre-cut up, and I think the real reflective tape adds a lot of realism to the railroad, to your models. And here's the other side. Really enjoy doing this car. I love paint cars. Fun to do. This one was pretty fun to do. Okay, for the next car I have is a KCS Bell hopper. This is in the black scheme. I added real reflective taping. Weathered it down pretty good. Added truck details. If you can see, I added some the blue bearing caps. The other side. Pretty much with this I just used chalks. And for these ones, they're not actually for black weathering. It kind of stands out. It has like a certain color effect. If you ever seen weathering black on your locomotives or on your rail cars, they have a certain effect, and they kind of have this effect, kind of the sandy, dusty color. Not really, and it really stands out. There's the other side. And here is the next car I did that had this. This is an LBF car, boxcar, Missouri Pacific. For this one I added custom graffiti, the reflective taping, and I pretty much used chalk and paint effects on this to create kind of the rust patches on the boxcar doors. I scratched it up a little bit. Here's the roof of it. I faded down the decal pretty good, and the graffiti. Pretty much kind of made some of this up. I looked at some prototypical pictures, but you can see the rusting effects, the dark brown that stands out. And this, if you look at a picture of these cars online, they pretty much have this effect. Whether the trucks. So this one came out pretty good, in my opinion. This next one, I don't know what brand this is. I bought this a long time ago, and I never really got around to finding out what brand it was. It didn't come in a box or anything, but this is a UP car. This is pretty much the old Shield logo ones, but I added a patch to it, which I looked at custom pictures, and I kind of messed around, and some of these cars do have the Building America patch. I did some graffiti right there, added reflecting taping. This weathered up the rooftops, the handrails. I did my own little patchwork over here, if you can tell, and added decals, the Building America. This one is missing the handrails and side rails all right here, and it's missing one coupler. There's the other coupler does come with it, but I just hadn't put it on. So I really enjoyed this car. I added the rusting streaks, which I found online. Some of the rust that comes down on these cars. So it came out pretty good for being a little car. I don't even have any idea what it is, but I actually kind of like it. The next one we have here is a UP model. I bought this not too long ago, and I patched it up to prototypical pictures. I painted the AC units and the toolboxes, custom UP yellow. I did the trucks, added the bracking, the piping bracket, filled in the engine doors, weathered it up pretty good. Custom painted the nose to give it more of a lighter, more pinkish effect. These are non-working ditch lights, but it has air hoses and this stuff. This is an Athearn model, by the way. So I pretty much gave this a good fade, filled in the engine doors, gave a little pastel effects. I didn't add tint on this one. I don't think I will. That's the back of it. I pretty much patched. Here. So that one was pretty fun to do. There's another UP model I have. This is another Kato AC4400. This is number 5714. For this one I didn't go too crazy. I just weathered the engine doors, filled the engine doors, gave it a good dusting effect on the front of the cab, added tint to the windows, weathered the trucks. Didn't add any sill or anything. I didn't feel like messing with that. Yeah. Oh, and here's my last car I like to show you. This is an open hopper car that I did not too long ago. Added the safety stripes, weathered the trucks. There's the inside of it. I kind of messed up on here. I was trying to add a kind of, there's an effect you can do to the top of these doors with a torch, and I got a little carried away and I accidentally got it over here. So yeah, this car kind of messed up, but actually I like the way it came out. I wasn't gonna, mess with anything. I was just gonna leave it as junk, but I actually kind of liked how I messed around with this car, added some pastel effects and rust effects. So this came out pretty good, I thought. But yeah, that's pretty much all the models. Most of the stuff is on eBay right now. I posted it up yesterday, so I'll put a link in the description if you're interested in buying these. Like I said, on my eBay username, I'll put the link in the description, and go ahead and leave feedback, comment, like, subscribe. Really want to see some input from people, and thanks.